This issue of Agritech Media is another one where we are at a press event, and this time it's with the German company Horsch. Every odd year, like 2025, Agritechnica takes place, and it will be held in November in Hanover, and there will certainly be news at Agritechnica. And that is why many manufacturers are calling for press conferences throughout the summer and autumn to showcase what they will bring to the world's largest indoor machinery exhibition. In this edition, we will take a closer look at what German Horsch is bringing to Agritechnica. I can already share that there is a lot of new seeding technology, plus updates on tillage technology. We will briefly mention sprayers and fertilizer spreaders. As we examine the news Horsch is presenting at Agritechnica, it is clear that the most significant updates are in seeding technology. This is where we will start our tour. Just over here, we will see the new Pronto 9 DC. There has been an update to the 9-meter machine, which is very appealing to the Danish market. This is one of the biggest news at the press conference. This is the new Versa 7 SW. It is a rotary harrow set, a concept that Horsch started 2 years ago. At Agritechnica 2023, Horsch revealed the Versa 6 SW. It was a 6-meter rotary harrow set where it was thought out in a completely different manner than before, both in construction and the rotary harrow itself. Before, Horsch bought the rotary harrow from the French Kuhn. That's not done anymore. Now they make it themselves. The 7SW is essentially a bigger model compared to the 6SW. As you can guess, it's a bit wider. You'd think it's 7 meters wide, but it's not. It's actually 7.2 meters wide. 7.2 meters, isn't that a funny number? This is due to it fitting into these 36 meters. Horsch has had considerable success since they launched the Pronto 7DC 2 years back. So, a 7.2 meter Pronto seeder. Now they are replicating this with the rotary harrow set. When we reach a 7.2 meter rotary harrow, we need some powerful and large tractors to pull it. Here at the press event, there's a John Deere 8 RX 410 attached in front of the rotary harrow. The whole rotary harrow is made for the biggest tractors available. You can see this in several places. It is evident in the very structure. If we start here with the PTO axle, the PTO runs through a strong frame. The PTO is placed in the center of the frame. These large tractors must be certain when using the seed drill that the power is gathered in the middle. As shown here, it enters a powerful gearbox here in the middle of the rotor harrow. There is an angle gearbox on each side of the output and into the rotor. The rotor hub consists of a standard frame, which is fastened together at the end. Before we review the rotor hub and what comes next, we should start from the beginning. At the front, we have a tank. Horsch mentions that the tank is positioned quite low. This means it should be possible to read it with a mini loader, probably a large one, or a front loader. It can contain 6,300 liters and is split into 2 sections. After the tank, we have some strong packing wheels. They sit right here. These are 750 22.5. We have some very large packing wheels here before getting to the rotor harrow. Next, we have a lamella board here. Here, we have a pressure roller. At the back are the blades. The rotor harbor itself is quite robust, designed to handle 500 horsepower. Few large tractors send 500 HP to the PTO axle. This is simply to future-proof the construction. There are strong axles located outside each rotor harrow section, secured with 2 large bearings. Horsch explains that the reason for this construction, which is only open at the end, is this is to ensure a uniform torque across all rotor harrow teeth throughout the width. The rotor harbor suspension is a palogram type, as shown here. The depth is adjusted using the hydraulic cylinder here. At the back, we have the famous clips that control our end stop. There is a lamella board behind. The lamella board's depth is set mechanically using this gray handle. It is part of the palogram suspension. No handle is in the middle. There is only one handle on each side for each of the individual foldable rotor harrow. Next to the lamella board is this trapezoidal roller, which has a diameter of 640 meters. The sewing blades themselves are the renowned turbo disc from Horsch. The depth is set on the hydraulic system. The cylinder here. The cutting pressure is manually set on the gray scale here. We use this multi-tool. We attach it here. This. Done. Now we can turn the handle here. We can see on the scale the cutting pressure. The handle adjusts. On either side, it is linked. But it's a foldable rotary harrow. We also have the same handle that must be rotated. Here on the other side. Before we check out the new Pronto 9DC standing over there, I would like to say a few words about the Avatar seed drill. For 8 years now, Horsch has been producing seed drills for no-till, strip-till, at least for minium-till, and Avatar is one of them. The Avatar series can be set from 4 meters to 12 meters in working width. Horsch also offers sprinter seed drills for Eastern European markets capable of delivering up to 24 meters in working width. But here is the new Avatar LC seed drill. It now features a much larger tank capacity. The new Horsch Avatar LC seed drill boasts a tank capacity of 9,000 liters. The tank is divided into 3 parts in relation to 50, 15 and 35. This means that there are 45 80 liters. You have 1,500 liters and the tanks hold 290 liters at the end. Moreover, you can integrate the seed drill with a mini drill, allowing for a total of 4 distinct sowing methods. On the same side, the seeding distance on an Avatar has traditionally been 25 centimeters, but now it can be adjusted to 20 centimeters. According to Horsch, the machine thus becomes more universal, even if it compromises a bit on the cutting pressure like the Avatar. It is down to 200 kg of cutting pressure compared to 250 kg when operating at a 25 centimeter distance. The machine fits well into the system where light soil treatment is done before sowing. It follows a similar principle to the Horsch Certo seed drill. It has packing wheels mounted in front of the seeding section. The Certo seed drill in this video was filmed in Denmark, with several versions now available there, both in a 12-meter version and a 13.6-meter version, like the machine in this picture. Horsch's press event is happening here in Runneberg, eastern Germany. This is the place where Horsch produced the Pronto seeders. At Agritechnica 2025, an updated 9-meter Pronto seeder is now available. It's interesting for Denmark, as many 9-meter disc seed drills are now running. You can now get a Pronto 9DC with 1,000 liters more capacity, totaling 6,000 liters in the seed box. Previously, there was talk of a 5,000-liter seed tank, but these are not the only updates on the Pronto DC. This machine features a modular design with new electronics and hydraulics. The new Pronto 9DC will consistently maintain the frame at the same height. This means that when it comes to elevation, the individual sections will lift independently, making the seed drill's frame horizontal. Moreover, the wings lift a bit on each side during winding, allowing for easier operation with the wide seed drill. You can change the disc and crossboard from the cabin. And there is an option for fertilizer placement either during the same sowing or in what Horsch calls the PFF version. This means there are separate fertilizer discs for placement. You can choose between a parallelogram suspended par disc or the familiar turbo disc, which is well known in the industry, while the turbo discs are aimed at fine and medium textured soils. Horsch Focus is set to receive updates alongside Agritechnica. Since its initial launch in 2010, it has seen continuous small updates. It has essentially kept the same design since it was launched. In 2023, the latest Focus generation was released, where the design we see here was updated. At Agritechnica 2025, the next update will come in the form of Focus 630 TDF, where the F stands for flexibility. And this means there is a 3-point lift for the rear toolbar. The lift is now closer to the tank using vertical cylinders instead of horizontal ones. Focus F is now more focused, featuring new seeding combinations, with the electric software located on the seeding unit instead of the machine. If you attach a Maestro seeder to the focus, the computer immediately knows that row units are in use, and this applies to grain or rapeseed toolbars as well, possibly a no-till toolbar. Talking about the planter technique from Horsch, they call it Maestro, and over here. Behind it is the Maestro TX. We're checking it out. In just a moment, we want to point out that hereby, whether it's SX or SV, there's a new option for these tanks. These tanks can be installed on either side of the machine and are designed for liquid fertilizer, with each tank holding 800 liters. This means you can get 1600 liters of liquid fertilizer on. Maestro SV and SX can accommodate this. It only needs to be a new machine. Horsch mentions that this can be added to current machines, such as those running in Denmark. This means we refer to it as a standalone system, which can be added later. You can see that here too. The system has its own Horsch Connect unit. Eventually, this will be integrated into the seed drill. However, if it is retrofitted, there is an option to get Horsch Connect on the tank part. And Horsch Connect is this app you have on your phone, and with it you can, for example, set your seed drill. And you have options for monitoring from here, like the liquid fertilizer, even if it's not Horsch Connect elsewhere, of the Horsch Maestro drill. Now we're going to head over to the 12TX located behind us. The 12TX is an entirely new machine from Horsch in the Maestro line, and it's very intriguing for the European market. Why is that? Because it's a machine with 12 rows, with either 75 centimeter or 50 centimeter spacing. That's not new. There are many seeders, not just seeders available, where we then do in the spring. So we might plant beets at 50, then we'll plant corn at 75. In harvest, we planted rapeseed at 50 centimeters, then we changed the machine. It's a bit tricky. So Horsch has reimagined this. This is a hydraulically variable frame. This means that on the TX series, you can go all the way from a row spacing of 45 centimeter to 75 centimeter spacing. And how long does it take to change the row spacing? Well, it can be done in just a few minutes. Manually, you need to move the clip here, depending on which row spacing you want to use. The rest is done hydraulically from the cabin. In other words, this is a single row seed drill. You can plant beets at 50 centimeter in the morning, and in the afternoon, corn at 75 centimeters. It is an incredibly flexible single grain seed drill, and it will surely be exciting to make a refill on this seed drill when the first copies arrive in Denmark. When it comes to harrows, yes, Horsch has several news at Agritechnica. There is no talk of entirely new harrow series. There are indeed updates being discussed, and yet, right here. Indeed, a finer XL is operating, and finer. Horsch has provided this in multiple lift versions for years, but as you can see here, it has also come in a compact version. And what kind of harrow is finer? Yes, it is a spring-tooth harrow for very shallow tillage, to max 10 centimeters. This can be done with full penetration, and in the finer XL harrow, we have working widths from 7 to 8 mm. Tine spacing 15 centimeters. Choose 4 or 6 bull harrow, 52 centimeters between rows. The release pressure is at 120 kilos. In these images, a harrow tip of 5 centimeter width is used. Goose feet can also be mounted. With 22 mm, the width. The packages, yes, many exist. And on this cliff, yes, a Horsch ring flex packer is here, and at the back, yes, double harrow tines can be added. Hydraulically adjustable from the cabin. At Agritechnica 2023, Horsch Fortis AS launched the harrow. It works at widths of up to 9 meters. The Fortis AS harrow is strong, positioned between the Tyranno and Tiger. Fortis Harrow now has a lighter version for smaller tractors. Fortis LT is the series initially available in 4 models from 4 to 6 meters wide. The tine spacing is the same as on the Fortis AS at 27 cm. Compared to a Horsch Tiger harrow, there is 23 cm between the tines, and the Turano has 30 cm between the tines, so the Fortis is positioned between the Tiger and the Turano. Horsch indicates that the working depth can reach a maximum of 30 cm. The new Fortis LT harrow is more compact compared to the Fortis AS models. They emphasize features like the land wheels integrated into the frame, hydraulic weight transfer to the tractor, and hydraulic depth adjustment from the cabin.
Talking about larger width harrows, we're in the cruiser range. Introducing the latest Cruiser 12, XL Ocean.
After Horsch introduced a new cruiser generation, the Cruiser 12 was removed from the lineup. Now it's back. The maximum working width for the cruiser has been less than 9 meters in recent years, but the 12 meter version is now back. With the same technical specifications as the 9mm version, meaning it has flex grip spring tines that are significantly stronger than the previous cruiser generation. The release pressure is set at 180 kilos with tines positioned in 6 rows capable of working down to a maximum depth of 15 cm. The tines are spaced 17 cm apart. Lastly, we should talk about the machines made in Landau, specifically the Leeb products. The self-propelled Horsch Leeb VT will be at Agritechnica with multiple track widths available from the cabin, available in either 2 to 3M or 2.5 to 3.25 min widths. The Leeb Xeric 14FS is ready for electric production now. It is now ready for electric production, and in this context, some changes have been made to the machine. Compared to the prototype that Horsch presented back at Agritechnica in 2023, the machine is now offered with 3 bottom widths, available in 36M, 39M, or 48mm. The tank capacity remains at 14mm3 with working speeds of up to 20 km/h. Same undercarriage as Horsch Leeb TD12 sprayer. Integrated air pressure system can be chosen for Xeric. Horsch states that for the 2026 season, they will update the track system, calling it dynamic steering. Wheel steering will respond faster and follow tracks better. Boom control on Xeric is similar to that on Horsch Leeb, featuring sprayers with boom control and a gyroscope for stability. It can function above and below horizontal, even with the outer sections of the wings on Xeric fertilizer spreaders. Additionally, the control system has been updated, with the tractor's LS now powering the augers and boom control. Meanwhile, the tractor's PTO drives the pump units that control the 12 dosing units and the blower for distributing the fertilizer. Additionally, toolboxes have been introduced on Xeric, with Horsch anticipating sales of about 30 units in the 2026 season. Horsch can unveil a new trailed sprayer at Agritechnica in November, which will undoubtedly be very popular. Introducing the Horsch LT9. 9,000 litre sprayer in the LT series in one axle. Until now, the LT series with a plastic tank has been limited to 6,000 litres. Starting in 2026, a 9,000 litre version will also be available. We will have to wait until Agritechnica reveals it in Hanover in November. And with that, we also come to the end of the video from Horsch Press Conference 2025. And don't forget, if you have done it, click the subscribe button on Agritech Media's YouTube channel. By enabling notifications, you ensure that you get a direct alert on your phone when a new film is available on this channel. Thank you for tuning in.